Okay, here we are again. This is the fourth try. But good evening, everybody. How you all doing? This your boy Rod Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, today is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. And we didn't try this video a couple of times, maybe once or twice. It was my fault, but the other three, four times we tried it, we was not getting any response from YouTube. But here we are live right now, going hard in the paint because we want to just make this video as briefly as we can. But we want to tell y'all the truth. The truth is, in the case of Breonna Taylor, we told you all a couple of weeks back, almost a month ago, literally it was about a month ago, that nobody was going to be charged in that case simply because they were going to try to use the fact that her boyfriend fired back at the officers. Here we are now, a month later, and I'm sitting up here telling y'all, do you all realize the only person, the only officer out of 6 who has been charged with any crime in the Breonna Taylor case was charged with wanting endangerment. Wanting endangerment. That means he's not even charged with the crime of shooting and murdering her, but he's charged with the crime of shooting indiscriminately, and his bullets, keep in mind, now I'm going to give y'all some real deep shit. They're charging him because his bullets hit another apartment. Didn't we tell you all here at the Real News Behind News that nobody was going to be charged in that case? Now, black people around the country are up in arms, which we have a right to be, but at the same time, as black people, we need to understand how the law is set up. Black people, don't nobody give a fuck about your emotions. The way the law is set up, they went into that situation, the police went into that situation, basically trying to execute a warrant, but they had the wrong warrant, really, because the person who they was looking for was gone weeks before Breonna Taylor was murdered, because she was murdered. But the person they was looking for was already gone. They executed a bogus warrant, went up in that place and started shooting. You know why that officer is getting off those charges? Because her boyfriend, who had every legal right to defend himself, started shooting back. Let me say this shit again. Black people understand what's really going on. We told y'all 3 weeks, almost to a month ago, nobody was going to get charged in that because the way the law is set up, these police officers are basically in the right under the cover of the fake disguise of the law. Because Officer I think his name was Hackett. I said it earlier. The officer who is accused of any crime is not accused of killing Breonna Taylor. He's accused actually of shooting indiscriminately, basically under wanting endangerment. He's actually accused Eve, I call you back. Damn. Hey, I call you back. Sorry about that. But the officer who's actually been charged, 1 out of 6, he is actually charged with wanting endangerment, which means he is not even being charged with her murder. He's been charged for getting out of his unit, running up on the scene and shooting indiscriminately because what they're trying to say again is her boyfriend actually, according to the law, defended himself and his home. But the officer who's being charged is being charged with shooting into another apartment and at the same time killing Breonna Taylor. Do you all understand when I told y'all 3 weeks ago, and really again 3 weeks ago when I told y'all what I told y'all? It was in response to a video that I was invited to by my partner Alfonso. I was invited to his page and we were going to talk about a couple of things. But due to the fact that I couldn't really hear him because I was talking on my cell phone, you know how you can hook the cell phone up to the live feed. But anyway, I was on my cell phone. I couldn't really hear him. And he kept trying to interrupt me, but I kept trying to talk. And make a long story short, he hung the phone up in the face and blocked me during that interview while I was telling him the truth. Nobody in Breonna Taylor's case is going to get charged. Nobody in the George Floyd case is going to get charged because according to the law, when you look at all the medical evidence and all the evidence that's available to you, in the George Floyd case, it's going to be really the two officers who put their knees on his back that's going to, that really should be facing any kind of charges. The officer that had his knee on the neck, George Floyd and that officer were partners. They worked together. And that's not excusing the fact that that officer dogged George Floyd out and had his knee on his neck, but it's going to come out really in that trial that they done found a crack pipe, they done found methamphetamine, heroin, opioids on George Floyd. Man, shit gonna come out, whereas nobody in that trial, in that case, in that murder, is gonna get convicted. Nobody is gonna get convicted. The case of Kyle Rittingham, Red Riding Hood, y'all, I'm gonna just be real. Kyle Red Riding Hood. That's what I call him. Because I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. But Kyle Red Riding Hood, he's going to get off on that charge for killing 2 people up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's going to get off on that charge because one of the people that he shot, he killed 2 and shot another one. The person that he shot was stalking that little boy with a pistol. If you look at all the videos, you're going to see that one Antifa dude who got shot in the arm up there in Kenosha, Wisconsin, in the situation with Kyle Rittingham, he's going to get off on that charge. Walked in and clicked the A. You did that yesterday, Sister Powers. How you doing? Thank you for clicking that button. Now YouTube, I guess YouTube can't stop us. I did this video actually, Sister Powers, about 3 times. Half of it was, 1-2 times because I couldn't get things going the way I wanted to. And the other case was because I had just smoked some good weed. I was just being real. But let's get to the reality. We got 4 people in here. We got 1 unlike. Y'all remember 3 weeks ago, I was on my boy Alfonso Scott page where he had called me about 20 minutes before he went live and said, I'm going to call you such and such and we're going to do this video. Now, we did the video, and during the course of that video, I could not really hear him. And as I'm trying to explain my points, I'm noticing that he's getting mad, frustrated, or whatever. But make a long story real motherfucking short, he blocked me. It's 5 of y'all here. Please, can I get at least 4 of y'all to hit the like button? Because we finna go hard in the paint. We finna tell you why nobody is being charged in the Breonna Taylor murder. When we told y'all this a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago. For sure, we told you on YouTube 3 weeks ago when Alfonso blocked me hung the phone up in my face and cut me off on his live video because he was not feeling the shit that I really had to say when everything I really had to say was based off of facts. Didn't I tell y'all that same night, almost a month, 4 weeks ago, really it was 3.5, but 4 weeks ago, I told y'all nobody's gonna get charged in that case of Breonna Taylor for murdering her. Here we are today. And the only person, I think his name was Officer Brent Haskinson, who has been charged with her murder, was not actually charged with her murder. He was actually charged with wanton endangerment. Do you all realize nobody out of the 6 officers who shot into Breonna Taylor's house is going to be charged with her death? And I told y'all this shit almost a month ago. Really, I was telling y'all as soon as it happened. But for sure on YouTube, where you can go back and look at my words, 3 weeks ago, I told y'all nobody's going to be charged in that case. And guess what? Today, nobody is charged with her murder. The only officer who's indicted and has any kind of criminal charges brought against him has a charge of wanton endangerment, which means he ran up on the scene, y'all. Her boyfriend really defending himself is what fucked the whole situation, because he started shooting, and in reality he had every right to shoot. But by him starting shooting, all the other the police officers started shooting back in response. The one police officer who has any charges brought against him right now is charged with shooting into another motherfucking apartment. This is how real the law goes. Fuck emotions. Fuck our feelings. Fuck all this Black Lives Matter and all this shit. The law was never meant for us in the first place. But at the same time, this white boy, police officer, is going to beat that charge. And if he don't beat the charge, he will not do more than 2 years in prison, because the charge is not murder. It's not attempted murder. It's not manslaughter. It's wanting endangerment, which means he happened to run up and start shooting and shot into the wrong motherfucking apartment. Do y'all really realize, black people, that the law, they say Lady Justice, they say justice is colorblind, blind. Lady Liberty, she's colorblind. That's why they show y'all her with the scales of justice and she got a blindfold on. But that bitch can see very clearly between black and white. Man, come on. Do y'all understand? When that man cut me off on his YouTube channel that night, I was telling y'all the same shit that I said that night and I'm saying right now. That this whole case is going to be a political ploy. It's going to be a situation that those who are in control, the oligarchy, the elites, use to keep us divided. Because half of y'all right now is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever your major platform is, you all are on that platform right now talking about ain't no justice for Breonna Taylor. Well, I told you this shit a month ago. They're going to use the fact, a month ago I said they're going to use the fact that her boyfriend shot back. Keep in mind, he had every reason to shoot back. He had every reason to shoot back because he is now being placed in a situation where hostile entities are trying to invade his home. Breonna Taylor in there asleep. The police run up in there executing a bogus warrant. Keep in mind, the warrant was bogus because they were looking for another fella, and the fella that they were looking for had already been apprehended. So hold on. handsome, quiet. Sorry, the dog's outside, y'all. But yeah, I see how YouTube, just looking at what I'm looking at right now, I got 4 viewers here, 1 like. At one point we had almost eight people, and it was starting to pick up because I think it hit 12 at one point. But for some reason right now we only down at 4 viewers. So we need you all that's really watching me, whether you like me or not, please hit the like button. You can even hit the thumbs down button. Hit that button so we can get more people to join in this conversation, because the real news behind the news, we're giving you the real motherfucking story, the real deal behind this fake shit that you're looking at on television or internet or Facebook and getting angry, which we have a right to be angry. But come on, which one of y'all Negroes that's watching right now did not know that none of those officers was going to get any kind of charges brought against them? So now you got 1 out of 6 police officers brought up on charges. And the charges that he's brought up on, if you ever been to prison, like I have about 5-6 times, but if you ever been to prison, you know he can plead down. This man is not going to do it 2 years in prison. And nobody else in that case of Breonna Taylor is going to face any charges. We tried to tell y'all this shit a long time ago, bruh. Nobody wanted to hear this shit. But you got motherfuckers that's on YouTube using this girl's death as a means to stoke racial flames, which already is on fire. They're pouring more gas onto the fire of racial tensions around here. Some of you Negroes, they're going to watch this video that both be my partners. I'm talking to you motherfuckers. You Negroes, sit around here and tell people on your YouTube channel, stop letting these people get you mad. But that's what you trying to do, because you motherfuckers are not looking at the truth. And the truth is, nobody gives a fuck about your emotions, man. Nobody gives a fuck about your desire to get 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers on YouTube and steal my style and go out there and try to prosper. Man, do you realize I don't give a fuck about the money, the fame, the fortune, the likes, the motherfucking views on YouTube or Facebook? I do this shit here, man, to tell people the truth. I told you on your channel, and I'm going to go ahead and call a name, Alfonso Scott, Injustice Investigation. Man, I love you, big brother. You was fucked that night. You tried to cut me off. And here we are a month later. You're on your YouTube channel trying to stoke your fucking subscribers into an emotional frenzy, when I told you what you need to be fucking doing is trying to stoke people into getting laws changed. Because according to the law, which does not give a fuck about your emotions, my emotions, your feelings, my feelings, your political party, I don't have a political party. The law don't give a fuck about none of that. Now here we are, and I'm gloating behind the scene. But in reality, I'm crying because Breonna Taylor's murderers will never face justice. And then I tell your bitch ass that shit. I shouldn't have said that. That slipped. Sorry about that, Alfonso. Didn't mean to say it like that. But then I tell you, Negro, that night, you blocked me on your Facebook page after you called me 15 minutes before you went online. You called me telling me you wanted me to come on there and talk about this shit. And when I started talking about it, you didn't want to hear the real truth. When I told you, the little white boy, Kyle Rillingham, Kyle Redding Riding Hood, he was not going to face no charges. Because when you look at all the videos, them white folk from Antifa, who was corrupting the Black Lives Matter movement, chased that little boy all motherfucking night, and he wound up killing 2 and shot 1. The one that he shot had a fucking pistol illegally. A convicted felon with a firearm was finna shoot that white boy. He shot him. You didn't want to hear that shit. You didn't want to hear the part about now they coming out with George Floyd had dope in the car, which we all knew that from the beginning. Motherfucking, I'm going to show y'all something. A lot of these black people on Facebook and YouTube who call themselves woke are really just fucking sleepwalking because they're trying to promote their agenda. I don't have an agenda. My agenda gets me fucked over all the time because my agenda is just simply to make people, whether you black, white, Democrat, Republican, Christian, Muslim, or Jew, my agenda is to make you motherfucking think, make you ask questions. Now, these same people who block me on their YouTube channel and even block me in real life on their Facebook pages and all that shit, as if I really give a fuck about your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, when I know that you stole my style and a couple of y'all using, and here's Freeport, using my shit to prosper way more than I'm prospering. Because I refuse to fucking sell out and not tell the truth. When I told you that night, a month ago, on Facebook, and everybody that's subscribed to my channel, all you gotta do is go back fucking 3 weeks ago and see the video where I went off on Alfonso Scott Injustice Investigation for having me on his show. And when I started telling him real shit, all because I didn't hate Donald Trump enough and I didn't suck Barack Obama's dick enough, I was cut off. When in reality, that shit was based upon emotions. All that shit was based upon emotions, bruh. But the facts are evident. Here I am a month later. You might still have the likes and all that shit, but the truth is on my side because I told you on your show, nobody's going to get charged for that case. So basically, y'all forgive me, man. I went off. I'm going to go back and read some of y'all comments, but I just went off because it's hard doing what I do. Because really, I'm persecuted by YouTube. I'm persecuted by Facebook. Which I really don't give a fuck because that's a fake world called social media. But in real life, I have people who base everything that they do on social media off the shit that I tell them. The shit that they call me and say, what you think about this? I turn around 6-7 hours later, see that shit on YouTube or whatever on their page. They getting 500-600 motherfucking followers. They getting likes and all that shit. But when I come back and tell the truth about what I said, because they spent that shit around, when I come back and tell the truth, guess what happens? Now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because they take what I say and they use their own political bias to use the knowledge and information that God has blessed me with to tell them. And they spin it, which is the same thing that CNN, Fox, ABC, CBS, all your mainstream media sources do it. All your motherfuckers, I'm gonna be real, all your Negro YouTubers who are getting paid, Tariq Nasheed, Tommy Sotomayor, and all these other motherfucking Negroes, they're using their bias to get paid. I'm the only person on YouTube that'll come out and tell y'all the motherfucking truth. Because I don't believe in Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, Jew, conservative, liberal, anti-life, pro-life. I don't believe in none of that shit. I believe in the truth. So people have used my platform, my personal phone calls and conversations with them to basically glean the knowledge and wisdom that the Creator has blessed me with, to now go back on their social media platforms and use partial truths of what I say to basically promote their biased propaganda. And guess what? Even today, yeah, I'm talking about it now, and I'm totally off subject. But yeah, I'm angry about that shit, man. I'm sitting around here right now, the brokest motherfucking celebrity in Shreveport. When in Shreveport, Louisiana, anybody that knows me and what I do, I'm probably one of the most well-known advocates here in Shreveport. The only time I really ask for money is when I'm talking to somebody privately about doing a job, or I'm here on YouTube. Other than that, I make my motherfucking way. But your politicians, your political leaders, your religious leaders, a lot of your educational leaders around here in the city of Shreveport, they look at me as that crazy Negro that cuss all the time and don't believe in God. I truly do believe in God. I just don't believe in the God that they believe in. Because their God has them running around here talking about hands up, don't shoot, or justice for Breonna Taylor. If your God was so motherfucking powerful, why is it that black people for 400 years been running around here waiting on him to do something different for us? Truth is, I do believe in a God. I just don't believe in the God of these organized religions, which is part of the fucking problem. Your political leaders are part of the problem. Your media, so-called leaders, are the problem. Because again, Alfonso, man, I love you, big brother. I'm going to call you tomorrow. You probably done blocked me or going to hang the phone up. But you was fucked that night. A month ago when I was on your show. And I told you, wasn't nobody going to get charged in Breonna Taylor's murder. Because they're going to use the fact that her boyfriend shot back to say that the police officers basically acted in self-defense. When he was the one who was actually acting in self-defense, they got it now where the only motherfucking 1 out of 6 is charged with wanton endangerment. None of them motherfucking police officers have been charged with her murder. So I hate saying, especially in this case, that I'm always right, but how the fuck you feel now? You got to go on your show now and try to stoke up motherfucking emotions to get people to go out there and riot and protest when that shit ain't finna do nobody no motherfucking good. You got to get laws changed, man. Which is some shit you really don't know about, because outside of getting on Facebook, YouTube, and all this shit, what have you ever really done as far as going down to the city council and shutting shit down? What have you ever done to really get out here in your local and make shit better for the people? Let me go back and read some of you all's comment, man, because I went off, man. I wasn't planning on going off. But this shit is crazy. I'm sitting up here on YouTube struggling, just trying to do a show. And you got motherfuckers, like again, your Tariq Nasheed, your, what's that show? Sean Kings. All these motherfucking so-called conscious, put it like this, they're woke. They say they woke black people, but them motherfuckers are not conscious because they're biased in everything that they tell y'all, because they're telling you what they need to tell the people who's willing to donate to their YouTube channel. I ask people over there, I'm going to be real. There's been people on my YouTube channel that has blessed me financially to the point where I'm still here 3 years from what 3 years from now for what they did for me 3 years ago. I'm still here. And when I ask my YouTube subscribers, hey, donate, it's not like I'm sitting up here begging. I'm telling people, man, I barely can pay the fucking Wi-Fi, which is cut off as of probably midnight tonight. I'm not the kind of person to sit up here and try to use the struggle of the people as a mean to make a profit. But when I ask for shit on YouTube, ain't but 5, 6 of y'all, like Sister Powers on here, right? She been one. Muriel Israel. It's been a couple of y'all. Had Not and Son. It's been quite a few y'all. Hold on. Let me go and read y'all comment. Let's just get this real. Let's get this real. All right, the real God will be casting many to hell. This is my boy, brother Joshua. And Joshua, you know me and you grew up together on the Cooper Road. They did not accept that they would change for the better, and they refused, and so the judgment day is coming. I'm going to be real. Any God, according to any religion, that would create all this shit that feels so good to us and then tell us that we can't partake of it is evil himself. I be asking God, I'm going to be real. Is it wrong for me to ask God, please, Lord, let me get this coochie because this girl here. Or please, God. You know, I mean, come on. If God was so just and righteous, why would he make pussy feel so good and then tell me that I can't have but one coochie for all my life? Don't your Bible say there's pleasure in sin, but only for a season? Well, what kind of God? You as a parent, would you buy a PlayStation 5, put it in front of your video game addicted 12-year-old son and say you better not touch it when you know he's addicted to PlayStation? That's a cruel parent. So that means the God of organized religion, I don't give a fuck what your organized religion is. It could be Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Krishna, Judaism. The God of organized religion, his whole thing is that if you don't do what the fuck I say, you're going to hell. When he created the shit that feels so good to us as human beings and then tells us we cannot partake of it, that's a cruel and evil master. And again, it's no disrespect to anybody's religious belief. This is just my religious belief. The God of organized religion is the biggest fucking racist, because you got to realize when he brought Breonna Taylor's forefathers and ancestors from fucking Africa, he told them when they landed on American soil, obey your motherfucking master. If he hit you in one cheek, turn the other. So now here we are, then 500 years later, we got to turn the other cheek, because according to the law, ain't there one of them police officers in Breonna Taylor's case fixing to get any kind of, suffer any kind of justice. And we started talking about around here, we're going to pray to God for justice. It's obvious he don't give a fuck about nobody. And he's explicitly racist against just us. This is why I don't believe in that God of religion, man. For real, man, that shit is fucking crazy. We sit up here talking about, we gonna pray about it. We need to have a prayer rally. You know what happens at your fucking prayer rallies? When you out here praying in public, downtown, having a peaceful prayer rally, this is how the news, the mainstream media and the news gonna say it. Hundreds of people gathered today for a prayer rally downtown due to the recent spike in police violence against black people. Meanwhile, in other news, 2 niggas just shot each other in a predominantly black neighborhood. If God is so, the God of organized religion is so motherfucking righteous, why don't he just kill Satan? Why does he have to tempt you and I? Why does George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Mike Brown, what's the boy name in Atlanta? Man, it's so many, Trayvon Martin. It's so many of us just in the last 4 years have been murdered. And Negroes still running around here at fucking church talking about Jesus take the wheel. We asking a motherfucking fictitious ass God, first of all, to take the wheel way up in heaven and drive a car for us down here on earth by remote control. Come on, man. How fucked does that sound? And then you wondering why, again, Brent Haskinson, the one police officer out of 6 in the case of Breonna Taylor, is the only one being charged, and he is not being charged with her murder. He's being charged with firing his service revolver or pistol, Glock or whatever, indiscriminately and shooting into another fucking apartment. Does your mainstream news article say anything about officer convicted of homicide in the Breonna Taylor case? No. I told you this shit 3 months ago. 3 months ago. When it first happened, after we got, just say, soon as I found out, as soon as it happened, I started researching, looking at all the motherfucking evidence, looking at all the information that was given us, looking at the law as to far as how it goes in that state, looking at all this shit. And 3 months ago, I was able to tell you, they finna fuck over us black people. Ain't nobody gonna be charged in that case. Here I am today to say I told you fucking so. So I said all this, man. I don't really know all the details of what really went on behind the scenes in the case of Breonna Taylor. But I do know that they're using the fact now that her boyfriend, who did the right thing by defending his home and shooting back or shooting first, whatever happened, he was in the right. He defended his home. The police were dead wrong because they started shooting indiscriminately, and the officer who's being charged with wanton endangerment is actually being charged for shooting a bullet into another motherfucking apartment. And here we are 3 months later, the shit that I told you is right there before your face. Not giving myself no glory, man, because shit, I just smoked some weed about an hour and a half ago. Nigga, I am one of the biggest sinners on the planet. I will never try to act like I'm all righteous and I'm right all the time, but 90% of the time, anybody that's been following me, all y'all local people who've been following me know that giving the creator all the glory, the shit I've been telling people for the last 7, 8, 9 years, you see this shit come to pass every day. Let me go back and read some of y'all comments, man. I know I'm tripping. Y'all, hold on a second. Give me a second. No, them dogs cool. They cool. Let me read. Hadnine son. What's up, my brother? Hey, Hadnine. Telling the truth is now dangerous. Never lose truth, YouTube channel. Hey, Joshua, there's a famous quote that says it comes a point where telling the truth will actually seem like it's heresy against the system. They don't want y'all to know the truth, but that's what I talk. Zion Ryden say, talk, brother. Y'all should return. Don't you drink the Kool-Aid and you got burnt for it? I can relate to it. Had not say, smash the like button. We really need them to smash the like button. Donate to the channel. Hey, we really need somebody to donate. One of y'all rich black folks out there that follow this channel, man, please donate $75. That's all we really need. I'm not gonna ask y'all for no $200, $300, $1,000, or like the preachers do when they have that game every Sunday. They run up in there and say they have a guest speaker, and the preacher of the church that's hosting the guest say, I'm gonna donate 100. How many of y'all gonna match this 100? I don't do that shit on the Real News Behind News. I know a lot of YouTubers do it. A lot of preachers do it. A lot of your politicians. Everybody do that shit. When I ask y'all for something, I'm just be real. I really need to get that Wi-Fi paid yesterday because the shit gonna be turned off. Probably. I'm glad that it's still on right now. But anyway, let's read some more of y'all comments. The real God will be casting many to hell. And most cannot accept that. If they did not accept it, they willing to. Let me ask you a question. If God is so loving, why would he send anybody to fucking hell when all he got to do is kill the devil? And nobody will go to hell. That shit, some shit you got to answer amongst yourself, Brother Joshua. And you know, you, my boy, I love you. You like family because we grew up together up on the Cooper Road, and you and I didn't grow up. I grew up with your people. But truth is what it is. If your God sending people to hell, why the fuck did he create a hell in the first place if he's so loving? I'm going to be real. It's easier for me to believe in hell, believe it or not, than it is for heaven. Because guess what? As a black man, I got to die in order to get to heaven. But the motherfuckers that taught us about heaven, white and black, they living that shit right now on earth every day. Literally. They got their heaven on earth. Why is it that black people gotta die to get to heaven? If you dead, didn't David say in the grave there is no remembrance of you? So that heaven and hell shit is nothing more than a scare tactic given to you by your religious denomination, telling you that if you don't do what God told me to tell you in this book to do, then you're going to hell. It's easier for me to believe in hell because look at the shit that Breonna Taylor's now family is going through. They going through hell right now. It's hard for me to believe in heaven because I got to die in order to see that shit. I got to die in order to go to heaven. How the fuck will I know when I'm dead? Because again, David said there's no memory of you in the grave. How the fuck am I going to know if I'm in heaven? But I'm in hell every day that I wake up. So again, it's not trying to criticize or downplay or degrade your religious belief or none of that. But I'm just speaking truth. Brother Yashua, it's time out for this religious bullshit. It's really time out for that, man. I noticed since I said that, I got 2 or 3 people that didn't drop. Black, white, gray, straight, old, young, tall, tall, short, heavy or skinny, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. What matters is your character. Exactly, Yashua. It's your character. Don't nobody give a fuck about what God you believe in. Because I believe in multiple gods. I believe that the Greeks, the Romans, and all them people who believed, the ancient Egyptians, our people, the ones who black people are so caught up in saying that we represent our ancestors, they believed in multiple fucking gods. They didn't believe in just no monotheistic motherfucker up in heaven saying if you don't give all your motherfucking money to me every Sunday morning, you're going to hell. The God of organized religion got to be either an alcoholic, a crack addict, a gambling addict, because every goddamn Sunday he's asking for tithes and offering. Didn't he say in the Bible he created the cattle on 1,000 hills? All the money that we call money, he's supposed to create it, but every goddamn Sunday he needs money from us. In form of tithes and offerings, penance, or whatever the Muslim believe in, whatever the Jew. But why God always needing goddamn money in order to be a blessing, for us to be a blessing or to get blessed? Why does the God of organized religion literally worship more money than we do? Basically, what you're saying, what we couldn't be saying is that we are nothing but characteristics of the fictional God that we created who loves money. So most of us are materialistic to the point that we would get out here and do, again, YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and all this shit, fake ass 501c3s and all this shit, really just to get money and not even understand the truth behind the issues that we're trying to set up our 501c3s to get the money behind. Now, I don't believe in that organized religious shit. my brother Yasha. I'm just keep it real. No disrespect to you and anybody else that believe. And that's a whole different subject, man. Nah, that's a whole. Weed is great. Genesis, yeah. But why are niggas going to jail? If weed is great and God created it and said it was good in Genesis, the first chapter, why the fuck were they trying to give me life behind weed? Just another question I be asking. Hands, what's up, brother Hands? Brother Hands. And I'm just doing this video, man, keeping it real. I'm sitting up here, I know I ain't got but 6 motherfucking people watching right now. And eventually more people gonna watch it. And it'll get a lot more views. But again, it's not about the views. It's about the shit that I'm saying. We sit up here talking about a God who allowed, I'm gonna show you how cold the God of organized religions are, because there's 3 major religions. The the Hebrew and Muslim God was so motherfucking cold that they were able to convince the black people of Africa that your spiritual ancestors, your form of worship wasn't shit. And in reality, it's your form of worship that Jesus Christ actually subscribed to. Where did Jesus learn his form, quote unquote, of religion from? Fucking Africa, in Egypt. When the Bible tells you, when the angel came to Joseph and say, take your child down to Egypt. From the time that Jesus was born till he went to Egypt, it was 33 years, bruh. What was he learning in Egypt? He was learning traditional African spiritualism. This is why even Jesus said, God is a spirit. Those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. Actually, to be honest, I'm going to be real. This shit's going to blow y'all mind. Jesus was actually more inclined to voodoo than he was fucking any organized religion. Because at that time, the Jews at that time, they believed in mysticism. The miracles that Jesus conducted is no different than the shit that people were doing in Haiti. But they tell you it's black magic when it comes to Haiti, but it was a divine miracle when it comes to their version of Jesus, who brought our ancestors over here and told them, slaves, obey your master. If he hit you in your right cheek, turn and let him hit you in your left cheek. Do y'all realize the fuckery that religion has brought upon mankind? And how now religion and politics have intertwined till they have a rule of law, which even your Bible says, obey the law of the land, to the point where Breonna Taylor will not get justice. Because according to the law of the land, when her boyfriend fired back, that gave the police right to continue to fire. And the one police officer out of 6 that is being brought up on charges is not even being brought up on charges for her murder. They're saying that he just jumped out and started fucking shooting. Which is probably, I don't know what the charge carries. Matter of fact, I'll come back and do another video tomorrow. The charge in that state, we don't know what it carries for wanton endangerment. But that's a 3rd motherfucking degree felony, nigga. It's no more than 2 years. If I was him, I would have not bonded out. And I'd have set a year or so out here in Louisiana. Because if you sit a year in Louisiana, the shit's so cold right now that if you sentence to a year, all you got to do is 2.5 months. And you get right out of jail. You basically getting less than 3 months on a year. So that police officer is not finna do no motherfucking time. Now let's go back, fast forward. We still waiting on the George Floyd case. What that boy name was, I don't think his last name was Brooks, down there in Atlanta. The police officer in that case is not gonna do any time. Man, we gotta understand that emotions will get you fucked up out here running in the streets talking about hands up, don't motherfucking shoot. And you really don't understand how the law go. You out here now. Have y'all seen where these motherfucking states are saying if anybody get arrested during the course of rioting and looting, they finna charge them with federal crimes such as sedition, treason? Do you realize how they're using these cases to get you to run out there in the middle of the motherfucking street, head first, not thinking, but running out there on emotions, and your emotions get your ass locked up. Now you got a $500,000 bill, and all you did was go downtown and just try to protest. All I did was just went down there and try to protest. And yeah, some people I was hanging with broke some windows, but I didn't do nothing. You know what the law gonna say? We don't give a fuck. You was there. You gotta do 17 years on this charge. Why the police, who you are down there protesting against, is walking away scot motherfucking free? Because they used the fact that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot at the fucking police, which saying that the police now in a sense, has a right to defend themselves when he was defending his home, and one of the police happens to shoot in the next door neighbor house. That's what he's getting charged for, basically shooting in the next door neighbor's house. Do y'all realize, man, that all I try to do, even though I might run on, spin off, and get lost from subject to subject or whatever, but the truth is what it is. That's why we don't even be trying. We got, 1,400, 1,040 subscribers here at YouTube. And we do this shit on a periodic basis. Y'all know I'm inconsistent like a motherfucker. But when we do come on YouTube, this shit be so deep and so profound that these videos are getting watched. They are getting liked. But we are not here to try to stroke your motherfucking intellect, your ego, your political, religious, or whatever social affiliation. We just want the people to ask questions. I'm not right all the time, but damn near 90% of the time, I'm right, because it's not me, it's my diligence to doing research, looking at history, studying, understanding, most importantly, looking and listening to the people who disagree with me or who I would consider my adversary or my antagonist. I listen at them more than I listen at people who agree and believe as I do. Because you have to listen at every fucking point of view, man, to come up and form a logical conclusion. If you only hear the shit that you want to hear, that makes you what? Biased. How the fuck can anybody take you serious if you are biased in your opinion? Like when Alfonso really get mad because I say that Barack Obama wasn't shit. He was no different than the Bushes. Actually, he was relative. His relatives are the Bushes, the Clintons, Romneys, the Kennedys. Y'all think that shit sound crazy, but guess what? What color was Barack Obama's mama? She was fucking white. What color was grandmama? On one side, white. He's a half-breed black dude who was nothing more than a black face on a white agenda. But if I say this shit publicly, I'm a sellout or a cool. When I'm telling you, asking you the question, if Barack Obama's one side, his mother's side of the family is white folks, who were their ancestors? And when you go look at his lineage, he was fucking basically cousins with the Kennedys, the Rodhams, which is Clintons, the Rockefeller. This boy is not a Negro like us. So just because I point that shit out, I'm not black enough. But at the same time, the motherfucker that you championing is a half breed. I'm just call it what it is. He's a fucking half breed. Here I am, 100% nigga. All my family on my daddy's side comes from motherfucking Africa. And the family on my mama's side are Native Americans. Motherfucker, I got a right to talk about it. Look at my nose. Full-blooded Cherokee. I got a right to ask these fucking questions, man. Straight up. So, since I ask these questions and say, well, what did Barack Obama do for black people? We know what he did for the immigrants and the homosexuals. What has he did for black people? I'm the bad guy. That shit really, man, I'm gonna just be real, kinfolk. I said this shit about 7 years ago? That's your fixation with Barack Obama borders on homosexuality, bro. Because you worship this Negro as if he said, well, hey, also, I really love you, man. I like what you're doing. Just come on over here and give me some head. You would do it. I believe you would. So, anyway, I'm just keeping it real. No offense, kinfolk, but stop acting like that did, because I think you'll suck some peanuts, bro. Just to get your point of view across. When I really don't give a fuck if people listen to me or not. I'm still here. Real news behind the news. With my, 1,400 subscribers. We're going to be the ones that's standing in the end. Because 7 years from now, the shit that God blessed me to tell the subscribers of this YouTube channel right now is going to help them in some kind of way. Because y'all today going to realize the shit that I'm saying today. And as we go through the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you're going to see that shit come to pass. And you won't be deceived. Anyway, man, let me get off YouTube, go get these puppies, man, because I know it's getting late. Man, we really need the support. Please just share, hit the like button. Most importantly, hit that bell. You got to hit that little bell once you subscribe. That'll make sure that you get the notifications whenever we go live. But if you actually go to our page and don't see where you know you hit that bell 4 days ago and you don't see it highlighted, then you know, as everybody else knows, YouTube is constantly fucking over my page. A lot of these niggas, man, that getting all this money and shit, they really saying what YouTube want them to say. When I look at people like, again, Tariq Nasheed, and it's a couple more. I just really can't call their name right off because I'm in the moment. But Thomas Sotomayor, man, I see these folks, bro, sit back and at the end of a 2-hour video, dude, they do every day. They have $5,000, $6,000 every day just off people watching their YouTube video. I be sitting around here trying to figure out how I'm gonna keep the Wi-Fi going so I can do a YouTube video. But I don't look at it for as that way. I look at it as like, well, whatever I have to do, God, if I have to go and ask my next door neighbor, let me get on your Wi-Fi, or let me get your Wi-Fi password because I got to do this video. That's what I'm going to do, man, because to me, it's about bringing the truth out. It's not about trying to get no motherfucking likes, no followers, or no fame or glory. It's about doing that which is real in the eyes of the true creator for his people. The true creator says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And that's all I try to do, man. I try to bring you the real news behind the news. This shit y'all seeing on TV with the Breonna Taylor situation, I told you 3 months ago, they finna use this shit to get you out there further. Now watch how the Democrats, let's talk about political wise. Watch how the Democrats try to spin this shit to make it seem as if these things are so uncorrupt, they're so unconstitutional, they're so corrupt, and all this in here. And the Republicans Donald Trump gonna come back and say, I'm the president for law and order. Do y'all realize they use these events to get you emotionally shook the fuck up so that you will not think rationally? They would rather for you to think emotionally than rationally and logically. Hey, y'all, please Hit that like button, man. I'm gonna go get these puppies out, man. Bring them. I'm gonna bring them inside because it's raining like a motherfucker up in here due to the last hurricane that just swept through here. But I'm gonna get these puppies out, man. Please hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, and once you're subscribed, make sure that you hit that bell to get the notification. Please, if you can, hit the cash out, man. It's cash tag, which is $ the real news 3 in small lowercase letters. We really could use that because outside, I'm gonna be real again. Y'all know me when I say shit. If we don't get it done by tonight, it might be another week before we do a video, but it ain't gonna be that long. Cause like I said, if I had to go and ask the neighbor next door, can I use your Wi-Fi? Boom, that's what I'm gonna do. But we can use donations here. We the ghetto version of the motherfucking news. But we bring you the real news behind that bullshit news that you see on your mainstream television. Y'all be blessed.